I'm pleased. Today's event, we welcome many known experts and some known specialists and scholars to attend the event. Today, organizers has made some good arrangement. In last year, they have prepared preparation, especially Eve Ray. So it's very familiar, and he's very familiar with to us. So many events, influential conferences, he has been attending every year, multiple meetings every year in China. So as far as I know, COFCO, Nutritional Institute, and Mengniu, the dairy giant, in last year decided to attend this conference. So before the conference, I discussed with some attendees. We can see this event has been paid a lot of attention by the at-home and onshore and offshore food community. As insider of the food industry, I'd like to extend my gratitude to every one of you to attend this meeting. Thank you very much. Because today, because the schedule is tight, my PowerPoint has more than enough content, so I have to skip some of them. Please help me. It's not moving. At first, I'd like to, because the industry, many friends has already know that many friends may be quite busy and didn't have a broad overview of this industry. I'd like to give you an update. At first, I'd like to share with you and look back review the 2013 food industry operation. In general, China has been in rapid economic growth in the food industry and is still growing rapidly. Why I say that? Because the Chinese economy is in a steady stage, steady growth. But in the industry economy, food industry has been a stable factor. May not be particularly brilliant, but the profit margin may not be very high, but it's unnecessary. Cannot do away industry for the public, so the prospect is good. Every year the growth rate has been high. In 2013, overall situation is the operation was very good. The feature characteristic was production growth and production and marketing and the sales are aligned perfectly. So many enterprise, many industries, many companies has maintained a zero inventory. For example, the botanical oil, the tobacco and the sugar industries. Tobacco industry asked me, is tobacco belongs to the food industry? I like to explain in the food categorization in China, tobacco belongs to the food industry. So if by statistically we want to cover it, but in the actual, the food industry maybe has less contact with the tobacco, but they are still in our scope. The production and the marketing ratio is above 100%. The margin is stable, and profitability is good. investment is rising rapidly, especially the agricultural byproducts. Agriculture produce the completed investment now comes to the 50% plus of the fixed investment in the food industry. Alcohol, beverage, and refined tea manufacturing investment is maintaining rapid growth, ranking number 2 across the manufacturer spectrum in China. Among the 56 subunits of the food industry, there are 47 profitability rising, only 9 dropping over last year. So,
at Luan Tour, that is the revenue hit 9.2 trillion RMB. So this figure shows something in itself. And the profit amounts to 690 billion. So the YOY increase is due to digit. How to move forward? Please help me to switch it, move it forward. Sorry for the technical hiccups. I will share with you the figures and statistics once again. So in 2013, we have the overall profit is because we have an update to the PPT, so it's a little bit confusing. Sorry for the puzzle. Let's touch a little bit upon the import and export. In 2013, those figures showcases that food industry has become the backbone industry among others. Backbone industry by definition is because we are all peers. We have domestic peers and international friends, and also some friends are related to the import and export. So I want to shed some light on import and export scenario of China, in particular to the emerging markets. In 2013, that's kind of a mismatching between mine and what is shown here to you. Sorry for this mismatching. A lot of international peers pay attention to Chinese development market. So I want to share with you the scenario of import and export in the past years. Overall speaking, among the emerging markets, we enjoy fast speed. So according to the prediction of the Food Industry Organization of the U.S., the sale of Chinese imported food will enjoy a CAGR of 15%, 1/5, in the next year. So by 2018, China will become the globally largest country consuming imported food. And the market scale of imported food will be a high size RMB 480 billion RMB. I went to the booth, patrolled the booth yesterday, and a lot of our rep office wants to be established by international peers in China in order to make a stronghold in China. And also, according to the statistics of General Administration of Customs of China, in China, the total food import exports topped 153 billion RMB, a YoY increase of 8.9%. Among this, export increased by 6.8%, while increase to the import is 8.9%. You can see the import far higher than that of export. In terms of our markets, Chinese food industry keeps a high growth rate in terms of exporting food to emerging markets like Hong Kong, SAR, Malaysia, Russia, Philippines, and Thailand, but cut to the US and the EU countries. Major provinces and cities exporting food, including the following: Shandong, Guangdong, Fujian, Jiangsu, Xinjiang Autonomous Region, Zhejiang, Tianjin, Anhui, Hubei, and Hebei, etc. Among these, Shandong, Guangdong, and Fujian, the three accounts for over half of the total food exports of China. This big three. Meanwhile, Xinjiang grows very fast in food exports, a YoY increase of 20%. The aforementioned export products are dominated by aquatic products and vegetables, which account for almost 50%. In other words, half of the exports are the aquatic products and the vegetables. Green oil plants and oils imported account for over 62%. The total import value, among which meat and meat products, rise by over 50%. A YoY increase has a big increase. In terms of food export, trade mode of China, the general trade dominates and the processing trade present rapid growth. You can do the math for the meat import. We enjoy the 50% increase alone. So this picture will be instrumental to you to interpret China's import-export food market. So as I mentioned, for the food export trade mode, the general trade dominates and the processing trade presents rapid growth. Exports via general trade mode account for 83% of the gross exports of food industry. While the food safety law of the PRC, which was implemented in 2009, provided a legal guarantee of food safety of food import and export trade of China. As China constantly improves legal regulations for safety, food quality has been widely recognized by international peers. Now let's touch upon the triggers for the growth of food and the import and export trade of China. With the completion of the ASEAN China Free Trade Zone in 2010, both parties largely lowered the import and the export tariffs, which in large part accelerated the development of food trade between China and ASEAN members. Currently, ASEAN is the second largest trade partner and the largest export market of China in terms of food. ASEAN, Brazil, and the US are the top three trade partners of China in terms of food. And the rise in price of food drives the rise in trade volume. The third feature, the triggers, the consumers' lack of confidence in homemade food accelerates the food import. Safety events and accidents on dairy products and sharp rise of imported dairy products are very typical of those grim scenario. So those three are the major triggers for the boosting the growth and import and export of China's food. In China, we have, as we mentioned, we have certain good, bright scenario here. However, we have certain grim challenges in food and import and export in China. First, there's the production cost skyrockets, which poses existence pressure to export-oriented enterprises. The second is we have the trade barriers lives. Technical trade barriers emerge endlessly. Not only sanitary regulations and technical standards, but also labor standards and animal welfare and environmental standards. And carbon tariffs have become obstacles for food export of China. And the safety of the import food cannot be ignored. We're talking about the two major categories, which is aquatic products on the one hand and vegetables on the other. These two account for 50% of the export. The structure of the export products, which focus on primary products export and which have low export proportion compared with the high value-added processing products, remains to be further improved. So those are the three problems which deserve our attention. So that's the bigger picture of China's food industry and also the scenario of import and export in the past 1 year. Now let's switch gear to touch upon the nutrition and the health industry in China. As known to all, China, as a populous country, and we have been thinking of, we are talking about the establishment of the new mechanism for China because China is becoming aging. So by 2020, we will establish a health service industry system which covers the whole life cycle, which is abundant in connotations and which has a reasonable structure. We will create a series of famous brands and health service industry clusters, which are under a virtuous cycle. We will form certain international competitiveness. We will basically satisfy the demand of public for the health services. So the health service industry will achieve a scale exceeding of RMB 8 trillion RMB and become a dominant force promoting the sustainable development of the economy and the society. And also we have the different rules and regulations, among others. In 2013, we have the outline of the program of food and nutrition development in China was issued. Defining the 2020 target for food and nutrition development is highlight. The outline is subdivides 21 specific assemble indicators from 5 aspects, including food production, food industry development, food consumption, nutrition intake, etc., etc. For instance, we have certain figures. In order to smoothly realize those figures, we have certain milestones to cover, which is among others, the grain yield of the whole country stably stands at 550 million tons and above. The per capita daily energy intake is 2,000 to 2,300 kilocalorie, and the occurrence rate of anemia is controlled below 10%. And also, in order to smoothly realize the target food yields, it is key to well implement the national food security strategy, which is based on the dominant supply. Domestic supply ensures production capability, allows the moderate imports, and endorses science and technology to accelerate the development of modern agriculture, to energetically lift the comprehensive production capacity, decrease self-sufficiency, and absolute security to grain, to safeguard the provision of other food. Where we should adjust the dietary structure. We are balancing our diet. We should fundamentally adjust the intake level of energies, nutrients. And third, we should guide the consumption by nutrition and lead the production by consumption. At present, food consumption and the nutrition level Chinese people present 3 transformations. Number 1, the food consumption pattern from enough to eat nutritiously and healthily. The second, the target food production from pursuit of output to yield, high quality and high efficient ecological production. The third is that food development mode from eat what is produced to produce what is demand. And in terms of development concept, we should highlight the coordinated development of production, consumption, nutrition, and health. The outline focuses on the establishment of our new relation in which nutrition guides consumption and consumption leads production. For the major tasks, we should highlight the food safety and security based on the principle giving equal priority to food quantity and quality. The outline initiatively put forward that we should construct a food quality safeguard system which is standard, sound, complete, and well supervised. And the outline also makes development in which aspects as standardized production, quality, safety oversight, and emergency treatment according to more attaching more importance to the safety on our tips. In the past 20 years, the gross consumption of health products in China has enjoyed a CAGR of 15 to 30%, which is higher than that of developed economies, which is the 13% average. As economic development accelerates and people's living standards increases, health has become a major topic. However, due to serious industrial and agricultural pollution and contamination, the exploration point of human beings and health and nutrition has shifted to nutritious health care products and green food. In the future, nutrition and health will be a huge growth point in the development of China's health industry. As the aging society approaches, the nutrition health care market will boast a huge space for further expansion. Chinese people are increasingly paying attention to food and attaching importance to health. Health industry has huge development potential and has now become a sunrise industry in China.
American economist Paul has called the health industry the number 5 fortune after the IT. So the people engaged in food and nutrition and health, you have the eyesight and insight, and we have a bright prospect. Hope our peers, colleagues would contribute more for the advancement of China and the global world. That's my presentation. Thank you very much.